In the headlines, President Tinubu to meet Trump over alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria. 11 billion naira found in detained colonel's bank accounts. Warri Itakpe train derails 4 days after resumptions. NRC suspends service. And on the foreign scene, landslide leaves at least 22 dead in western Kenya. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Mariam Idris. Now, President Bola Tinubu is expected to meet with United States President Donald Trump in the coming days over recent claims of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. According to the President's Special Advisor on Policy Communication, Daniel Bwada, the meeting would focus on counter-terrorism cooperation and clarifying misconceptions about attacks in Nigeria. Bwada said both leaders remain committed to combating insurgency and terrorism, noting that Trump has previously supported Nigeria through authorized arms sales, which Tinubu has effectively deployed in the fight against terrorists. He added that the discussion will also address differing perceptions about whether terror groups in Nigeria target only Christians or people of all faiths. Meanwhile, the presidency says President Tinubu is well ahead of the orchestrated game unfolding in America. The Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said Tinubu had already taken decisive action by reshuffling military leadership and charging the new service chiefs to deliver results with patriotic zeal. Trump had on Saturday threatened to halt U.S. aid and ordered the Department of War to prepare for possible military action if the alleged killings of Christians continued in Nigeria. Onanuga, however, insisted that Tinubu's administration remains focused on strengthening national security and upholding Nigeria's commitment to religious freedom. Non-human rights activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore has warned Nigerians against supporting U.S. President Donald Trump's recent threats to military intervention in Nigeria, describing the move as perilous. Sowore, in a post on X early Sunday, said Trump's warning to send American troops into Nigeria over alleged killings of Christians is both dangerous and misleading. He argued that while Trump's comments may appeal to some, U.S. military interventions in places like Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, and Syria have only led to greater instability and suffering. According to Sowore, Nigeria's progress depends on internal reforms, accountable leadership, and a strong fight against corruption and violence, not reliance on foreign powers. He stressed that Donald Trump does not care about Nigerians, not Christians, Muslims, or anyone else. Showere's remarks come amid rising diplomatic tension following Trump's repeated accusations of religious persecution in Nigeria. United States Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has indicated readiness to take military action against what he called the killing of Christians in Nigeria, echoing earlier threats by President Donald Trump. In a post on X, Hegseth said the Department of War is preparing for action if the Nigerian government fails to protect Christians. He warned that the U.S. would kill the Islamic terrorists committing these atrocities if Nigeria does not act. This statement follows President Trump's warning on Truth Social, where he threatened to cut off all U.S. aid to Nigeria and ordered preparations for possible military intervention. The Nigerian government has yet to officially respond to Hegseth's remarks. Now, military intelligence has reportedly traced about 11 billion naira to the bank account of a detained army colonel linked to the alleged coup plot involving senior military officers. Top security sources told Sunday Punch that the discovery further connects the officer who once served in the Niger Delta region, to the ongoing investigation. The Defense Intelligence Agency is said to have been tracking communications, financial transactions, and foreign contacts of the suspect since August 2024, following intelligence reports of a planned government overthrow. Sources also reveal that President Bola Tinubu's frequent stays in Lagos and limited presence in Abuja were partly due to heightened security concerns during the probe. Last Friday, the president dismissed all service chiefs and announced new appointments, a move believed to have been influenced by the ongoing investigation. Now, reports indicate that the removal of former Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa was linked to a public statement confirming the arrest of 16 officers, which security officials say should not have been disclosed. Now, the Kebbi State Police Command has arrested 2 suspected kidnappers and rescued a 14-year-old boy unhurt during a joint security operation in Kaoji, Bagudu local government area. Police spokesperson CSP Nafiu Abubakar said the suspects, Aliyu Alhaji Shehu, also known as Altini, and Abubakar Umar alias Bube, were captured after a gun battle with security operatives in Sada Forest. The operation followed the October 18th abduction of Aliyu Buda, the son of Alhaji Buda Sambo, who was kidnapped from his home in Bagudu. Police confirmed that the boy was rescued safely and reunited with his family after medical checks. A locally made revolver and live ammunition were recovered from one of the suspects' home. Preliminary investigations linked the suspects and their fleeing accomplices to several other kidnappings in the area, including the abduction of a 70-year-old man on October 28. Now, the Taraba state government has confirmed an outbreak of avian influenza, also known as bird flu, in parts of Wukari local government area. Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Professor Nicholas Nemasan, announced the development at a press briefing in Jalingo on Saturday. He said the outbreak was detected after reports of mass death of birds in the Jibu community, with laboratory tests confirming the virus on October 29th. Authorities have since activated rapid response teams and imposed a ban on the movement of birds and poultry products in and out of Jibu, Kakari and Yamini areas. Live birds markets in Dorua, Bantaje and Yamini have also been temporarily shut down to prevent further spread. Residents have been advised to avoid consuming poultry products for now, as the virus poses a potential risk to humans. The government is urging poultry farmers to strengthen biosecurity and report any sudden bird deaths to the nearest veterinary clinic. Now, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has uncovered a clandestine laboratory used for producing Colorado, a potent synthetic strain of cannabis, inside a residential building at Ajawa Estate, Isolo, Lagos State. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi confirmed the development in a statement on Sunday. He said the lab owner, 30-year-old Stephen Kelechi Imo, was arrested after months of surveillance and intelligence gathering on local production of the psychotic drug. According to Babafemi, the breakthrough followed multiple interceptions of Colorado earlier this year, which indicated that the substance previously imported was now being manufactured locally. Items recovered from the lab include 16.2 kilograms of freshly cooked kolos, 1.7 kilograms of ADB cannabinol, 4.5 kilograms of potassium carbonate, and 91 liters of dibromobutane, all used in the production of synthetic cannabis. In a separate operation, NDLEA operatives also arrested 28-year-old Afis Salisu, also known as Malu, during a raid in Mushin, Lagos. 16 compressed blocks of Ghana Loud and several designer sachet and bottles of Colorado weighing 16.4 kilograms were recovered from his hideout.
5, 6, 7, 48, 49, 50.
Total is 140 pieces.
Now, the Nigerian Railway Corporation has suspended operations on the Warri-Itakpe route following a train derailment on Saturday night, just 4 days after services resumed on the corridor. In a statement released Sunday, the NRC's Managing Director, Kayode Opefa, said the derailment occurred around 7:30 p.m. at kilometer 212 in Agbo Delta State, involving 2 of the train's 7 coaches. Preliminary investigations suggest the incident may have been caused by suspected track vandalism. The Warri-Itakpe line, spanning over 300 kilometers, is Nigeria's longest modern rail service, alongside the Lagos-Ibadan and Abuja-Kaduna routes. Rail services on the corridor had only resumed on October 29th after being suspended in August due to repeated technical breakdowns. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, over 188 rail-related incidents have been recorded in Nigeria between 2020 and 2025, many linked to vandalism and criminal activities. This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Residents raised alarm over Oyo government's demolition plan, called for urgent plan. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news update on Trust TV. Now let's take a recap of our major stories again. President Tinubu to meet Trump over alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria. 11 billion naira found in detained Colonel's bank accounts. Now moving on to more stories. Residents along the Circular Road corridor in Ibadan have appealed to key stakeholders, including the federal government, the National Assembly leadership, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, and prominent indigenes of Ibadan to intervene and stop the Oyo state government's planned demolition of properties along the project corridor. The report.
The Ibadan Circular Road project is a 110-kilometer road network designed to ease traffic congestion and provide an efficient bypass for commuters and freight movement around the ancient city. Named after the former governor of Oyo State and current Olubadan of Ibadan land, Rashid Adewolu Ladoja. The project is expected to improve mobility, drive economic growth, and enhance infrastructure development across the metropolis. However, residents affected by the ongoing construction say the government's plan to demolish properties within the 500-meter setback zone is unfair and inhuman. They claim to have staged several protests without any concrete response from the authorities. In their latest move, residents took their grievances to journalists at the council secretariat in Iyaganku, Ibadan, calling on Governor Seyi Makinde to honor his earlier directive suspending further demolitions. They also demanded a roundtable discussion involving representatives of the 6 local government areas traversed by the road.
The goalpost has been 75 meter right, 75 meter left. Now the government of the day, under Governor Seyi Makinde, saying that additional 425 meter right, 425 meter left, in which houses will be demolished. Land without compensation before acquiring the land will be acquired. It is never done. The governor declared in Oyo State that no building standing on the corridor on the Circular Road shall be demolished. And on that mandate declared that day, that is the mandate we stand upon today.
The residents further urged the state government to refrain from taking over vacant lands along the road perimeter, insisting that such action violates the Land Use Act. They also refuted claims that the compensation has been paid, describing such reports as misleading.
The insinuation from government quarters that our agitation is being sponsored by politicians is false, malicious, and far from the truth. Three, the recent proposal of additional demolition of buildings and properties by the Oyo State government is anti-human and inimical to the well-being of residents of the corridor. Hence, it is totally unacceptable.
The 150 meter right of the way had been acquired for public uses. is hereby plea for adequate compensation. Then, the judicial precedent on land cases of Nigeria. There are 5 principles as mentioned earlier. Only family have absolute ownership on land and the right of transfer vested on them by 1. Traditional evidences, 2. Document of title, 3. Act of ownership, 4. Act of long possession, and in case of dispute, the act of proof of adjacent land, that is the person supposed to be the owner.
According to them, the proposed demolition could displace more than 3,000 homeowners across over 30 communities, a situation they describe as anti-people and detrimental to the welfare of affected residents. They are now appealing for swift intervention for well-being Nigerians before the situation escalates further.
Away from that, the Adamawa state government, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme, has distributed cash grants, vocational kits and fish farming inputs to residents of Madagali local government area. The event, which took place at the Kulak Stadium, is part of efforts to support communities affected by insurgency. Trust TV's Gibson Suadigo reports.
The milestone event took place at the Abubakar Barde campus in Mobi, marking the 22nd anniversary of the institution's establishment. The ceremony was attended by the prominent figures including the Governor of Borno, traditional and religious leaders, esteemed academics, and politicians. In his remarks, Governor Ahmadu Murfentry commended the graduates and expressed... Governor Ahmadu Murfentry, while flagging off the exercise, said that empowering 2,500 households translates to lifting over 10,000 people out of poverty. He appreciated UNDP for its continued support in post-conflict recovery and called for the expansion of the program to other affected areas including Michika, Mubi North and South, Maiha, Gombe, and Hong. The governor urged beneficiaries to make good use of the grants and materials to improve their livelihoods.
Wannan abin da muka zo mun kawo don ya amfane ku, ya taimaka ya cire ku daga talauci.
He said, "The items we brought are intended to alleviate your suffering and combat poverty. Please note that these items are not to be sold. Those who received assistance this year may not receive it again next year. So it is important that you make effective use of what you have been given."
Saboda haka wannan taimako da aka kawo an kawo maka ne ba don ba a so kuma ba inda za iya kai ba.
In her remarks, the permanent secretary and executive secretary of the ASEMA, Selin Laori, explained that under this new phase, 1,500 households receive business grants of 300,000 naira each, while 500 others got vocational kits and 250 households receive fish farming inputs.
Through your clear vision and dynamic governance, Adamawa State continues to align with global best practices in humanitarian development interventions, ensuring positive and sustainable impacts on the lives of our people. With your kind permission, Your Excellency, I wish to highlight some of the key livelihood support initiatives successfully executed under the second phase of the Regional Stabilization Facility, RSF.
Mary Auta, who responded on behalf of all the beneficiaries, affirmed that the humanitarian gesture is a dream come true for them in the community. There were goodwill messages from the paramount ruler of Madagali and other guests. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
In business news, the Dangote refinery has backed President Bola Tinubu's decision to approve a 15% import duty on petrol and diesel. In a statement at the weekend, Dangote Group spokesperson Anthony Chejina described the tariff as a patriotic and necessary step to protect local refining and encourage industrial growth. He said critics of the new policy were being unpatriotic, stressing that the tariff would help reduce import dependence, create jobs and boost government revenue. Chejina added that the 650,000 barrel per day refinery is currently loading 45 million litres of petrol and 25 million litres of diesel daily for nationwide distribution. However, The downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority had earlier stated that the refinery produces about 20 million liters of petrol per day, raising questions about the figures. Now away from Nigeria. At least 20 people have been confirmed dead and over 30 others remain missing after a landslide struck Kenya's Western Rift Valley region. Days of heavy rainfall triggered the disaster, with the Kenyan Red Cross reporting that many affected areas remain inaccessible due to mudslides and flash floods. Officials say 25 people with serious injuries have been airlifted to Eldoret for treatment, while others received care at the scene. Rescue teams continue to searching through the rubble of collapsed homes in Chesonsok, Elgeyo Marakwet County, where more than 1,000 houses have been destroyed. Kenya's Interior Minister Kipchumba Murkomen had urged residents living near seasonal rivers and high-risk slopes to move to safer areas. The country is currently in its short rainy season, but the scientists warn that climate change is intensifying extreme weather events across East Africa. And now to sport news. Egyptian club Telecom SC have confirmed the appointment of Aliyu Zubairu as their new head coach. Zubairu, who previously managed Nigeria's under-20 team, the Flying Eagles led the side to a third-place finish at the 2025 African Under-20 Cup of Nations and reached the round of 16 at the World Cup. The 61-year-old first rose to prominence after guiding El Kanemi Warriors to win the President Federation Cup in 2024. He will be assisted in his new role by fellow Nigerian coach Lukman Ijaya. And with that, we have come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news. I am Maria Medris. Thank you for watching.